Welcome to Inside the 87's, your home for updates of one of the top junior hockey programs in the EHL, located in the hockey hotbed of New Jersey, where hockey players are molded for the next level, the 87 way.
Hello and welcome to Inside the 87's. My name is Anthony DiPaolo, and we're starting a new weekly series that will provide you with an up-close look of the New Jersey 87's through interviews, video features, and more. The 2019-2020 season showed much promise for the 87's. The EHL and EHL Premier teams combined for 68 wins in the regular season, both finished first in the Mid-Atlantic Conference, and had a chance to win the Frozen Finals in Providence, Rhode Island. Unfortunately, the season ended prematurely due to the pandemic, and as sporting events across the nation have been put on hold, we'll look to bridge the gap with this interactive series with the help of 87's head coach Adam Cooley and social media specialist Alyssa Morrison. In this first episode, we'll introduce you to Adam and Alyssa, we'll have a chat with EHL forward Matt Bielinski, and we'll take a look back at some of the best plays of the year. So welcome to Inside the 87's. Here is head coach Adam Cooley.
What's up, everyone? My name is Adam Cooley. I'm the head coach and GM of the NJ87's. I hope everyone's staying safe and healthy during this time. I know we're all anxious to get back to the rink and get back to our regular, normal days, but I do think it's coming sooner than later. So I'm just excited. I'm anxious. I'm ready to go. I'm excited about this new feature that we're going to do. I think it will provide an awesome insight onto what it means to be an 87. I'll give an in-depth look of what we do and how we do things. So I'm super excited to see what this program will bring, and I'm hopeful that you'll enjoy watching it and taking 10 minutes and just enjoying to sit back and see what we do here. Over the Mondays and Tuesdays, I know we're starting to announce our player signings, and I do think we are locked and loaded to have a really good year. I think we return a core group of players both at the EHL and EHLP level. And the additional signings we've had to our new players is super exciting. I think we'll be a very good team, a very good skating team, a team that will play with a lot of pace. And I'm excited to see the new players kind of fit into their role and find themselves in their first years of junior hockey. So I know overall I can't wait to get started. I know on Mondays and Tuesdays we'll continue to do that and introduce you to the 2021 New Jersey 87's organization. All this wouldn't be possible with the addition of Alyssa Morrison. We brought her on as our interactive content manager. I met her probably a summer and a half ago, and I really liked what she did. I followed her and just watched the work she did all last year, and towards the end of the year, we reached out to see if we can kind of collab on some graphics and kind of just help our social media presence continue to grow. And she's been super excited about it. So I'm excited to add her to our team. I think with her and Anthony here, we are going to have the best team outside of the ice as well. As you can hear, that's my little boy Hudson, which I'm sure he'll make some intros to what we do. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to Alyssa Morrison, our interactive content manager, and I am super excited that she will be part of our team and can't wait to see the work she's going to continue to do and show us in 87 land.
Thank you, Adam, for the flattering intro. My name is Alyssa Morrison. For those of you who don't already know me, I am a first-year sport media student at Ryerson University in Toronto, Canada, and I currently am the interactive content manager for the New Jersey 87's. Throughout my short time at Ryerson, I was able to film a feature, broadcast a live production, interview players, and so much more. I'm so excited to bring my experience to the 87's to gain even more experience for myself. But I'm more so excited to share player stories and explain what the 87's can really do for people. I have a couple goals for this series, but one main goal that I have is to share players' experiences and stories to provide a background and vulnerability that we don't get to see on the ice. This comes from my belief that a player's personality and character are just as important as the stats they put up. My other goal is to provide content for you, the viewer. The world right now is in such a strange, scary, and weird place, and I hope that this feature finds you with inspiration and education. And most of all, I hope this brings you entertainment, as interviewing these players is so fun and gets to show you a side of them that you've never seen before. I'm so excited to see what this series will bring, and I'm beyond blessed that I was asked to be a part of the crew. Without further ado, let's take a look at the 87 way. So I'm here with Matt Bielinski, and I'm going to ask you, introduce yourself, give us your name, your age, your hometown, all the fun stuff.
Hello, I'm Matt. You can call me Bills, whatever. I'm 19. I'm from Buffalo, New York.
Okay, so you just mentioned your nickname's Bills. Do you
Mhm.
want to explain on how that started, why that is?
Okay, well, when I was a rookie, so I'm gonna be going into my third year of juniors. So my rookie year, I played in Scranton, Pennsylvania for the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Knights, and I was just a little kid, just kind of like introducing myself. And one of the age-outs at the time, he was in '98, Matt Passeretti. He was like, "I'm gonna call you Bills," and I was like, "Why?" He's like, "Well, you're from Buffalo and Bielinski," and I was just like, like, all right, I guess that works. And so ever since then, like it's stuck, and I love it. But sometimes when I'm home, though, like everyone's always talking about the Bills, obviously, and they're like, they'll say something about the Bills. I'll just like twist my head real quick because I think they're like saying my name.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. And now that we know you're from Buffalo, New York, why are you playing in New Jersey?
Well, so I played high school hockey, growing up, like travel and high school, like split season, and my high school team was like really for like a high school team, we were pretty legit, like pretty good. Um, and like we had practice like 5 days a week, like we had film, like workout stuff like that, like pretty like legit for a high school team. And the coaches were pretty high up and like played like high up and coached and all this stuff. And so I had a connection um, from one of my coaches to play in Wilkes my first year, and so I went there. And then from there, I kind of just like dipped my toes in like juniors and all that stuff. And then like I was telling about you over text, like just playing the 87's, like you could tell like they were always really good. Like I always marked my calendars when we'd play them, and just like it was always a battle. And I knew they were a really good program. And so then after my season was over, and I knew that Wilkes ended up getting sold to become the Seacoast Spartans, I was like, ooh, I really don't know like what to do. Like this is so weird for me. And then my advisor Matt Dibble, who's the director of scouting for the Null Titans, called me. He was like, "Yeah, Cooley's interested in you. Just like 87's is a great program. Like you could do a lot. You could do well. You could develop." And I was like, "All right, like sign me up." So I gave him a call, and we talked, and I went to both the camps, and the rest is history.
Yeah, so you kind of had connections going into junior hockey, which is amazing. And, anything helps getting your foot in the door. But what would you say to kids, I guess, at the Bantam level or even at high school that are looking to go into juniors? Like, what can they do to get their foot in the door?
Yeah, I think that this point is a lot more like difficult than I think it may seem. Like there's a lot of like just kind of like BS like programs, like BS like camps, just like money grabs, like shit like that, that like they don't have the player's best interest in mind. Um, so I mean, I guess probably like the best way would to be to get an advisor, and then there's like obviously like multiple websites and pages and stuff like that to find them. And you just want someone that knows, because junior hockey is just so confusing. Like leagues are changing, leagues are moving. Like how good is this league compared to this league? Like X, Y, and Z. So getting an advisor or someone that knows hockey and is there for you would be huge. But also just I mean, literally just trial and error. Like you keep an open mind and you go to those camps, and like whether or not it's a money grab or not, like it sucks, but like that's the best way to learn. And I definitely went through that my rookie year. I was going to camps because I was like, oh, like they want me to come to this camp. But I wasn't good enough, or like they didn't want me, or it was too low of a league for me. Just like a bunch of different stuff that I really just had to trial and error. Which yeah, it's like it's confusing. So
No, yeah, for sure. And I'm sure there's a lot of players out there right now that don't have a team to go to, and they're worried about tryouts, and a lot of camps and tournaments and showcases are all overlapping due to what's going on in the
yeah.
world right now. So going on from that point, what have you been doing at home to keep up your skills, or even mentally? I think that's a huge thing that we should touch on, because all these athletes are home, no ice,
Yeah.
no fields to go to. So what have you been doing to keep up?
So I've been fortunate enough to have some weights in my basement. So I like to work out. I probably work out like 5 times a week, just like little stuff. My one good friend, his name is Matt Bielinski. He plays in Lincoln in the USHL. And he's committed to Miami. Not a big deal. He comes over often, and we work out like all the time. So that's a good way to like motivate each other. The skating though, it's been tough, man. Like,
Yeah.
it's the longest I've ever been in my entire life without skating. It's so weird. I'm gonna get back on the ice, and I'm gonna be like like
It's okay.
I'm gonna be really bad, and it's whatever. I mean, it sucks, but I mean, I have a tarp like that drops down, and it's like a goalie, stuff like that. So I shoot on that in the driveway. I go on runs, just like anything to stay active. I'm a huge frisbee fan. I love playing frisbee. So me and my boys like will go to like this our high school field. It's closed, but we sneak out. Just don't tell anyone. But we rip frizz. Like, it's awesome. Like, that is just like a pastime, and I mean, we like get our cardio in, because like we won't just like we'll sprint and then just like throw it and go. So we get a good sweating out of that, and just, I mean, those stuff physically kind of like is what keeping me like in shape. And then, I mean, just like mentally, I don't know, man. It's been hard. I play a lot of video games. I'm really good at Fortnite. Okay, I know. I was texting you about Chell, and I was playing NHL, ended up losing. I don't want to talk about it. I'm an in-person hockey player, not I'm a real world hockey player, not a video game hockey player. Fortnite.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's true. Fortnite though, I'm pretty good. Pretty good.
So you would say mentally, like, you've been keeping yourself busy playing, video games and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, so I also work for my dad, and like I'm fortunate enough to be able to do all online stuff. So I like work during the day. I'm starting to dip my toes into forming a business.
Wow, do you want to talk about that, or is that like top secret?
No. I mean, it's nothing like crazy. So I literally just been kicking the can this past like 2 weeks about it. So I'm designing sweatshirts, Buffalo sweatshirts, which it's gonna be a lot to like start up, but I think they're so cool, and so I really like that.
That's so exciting.
Yeah, so I'm gonna do that, and then also I'm gonna do like a lawn mowing service just around my neighborhood, and then just like have some people. Yeah, so there's a couple different things in the works.
You have like a lot of side hustles going on, keeping yourself busy, right?
Exactly. Yeah, there's a lot of side hustles is right. I don't know. I'd say all of the side hustles. No, yeah, it's good. I stay pretty busy. And then I have a couple friends that we like all like hang out, and obviously 6 feet apart, but
there you go.
Just, like,
mention that, the disclaimer.
Yeah. So no, but I definitely keep busy, but it has been very weird.
Yeah, it's definitely super strange. And I know like a lot of athletes, I mean, you can't even really watch any live sports, and that's a huge escape for a lot of people, right? So it's really important to me to understand how athletes are kind of coping with what's going on, because people that don't play sports are at the level that you are. They're kind of just riding the wave. And that's not generalizing or anything, but I've noticed there is a huge difference in people that play sports for fun and then people who play sports to eventually get a career out of it, right?
Yeah.
So your advice would be to, stay busy, find something that you're passionate about, which you're obviously, passionate about your business and, all that going on. And you've been texting me about, like, that's something you want to major in. Like, that's a career that you would love to go into. How did you find out that as, like, your career path?
Okay, well, this leads into a pretty good story, actually. But
Good.
Okay, so my dad, just like off the rip, like he was a PA for a long time, but now he owns 3 businesses. And so he lives in Florida, but he runs like 2 medical companies and then like a Dale Carnegie franchise. I don't know if you know what that is, but it like teaches people to be more professional, like in like business, like workplace and stuff like that. But nonetheless, sorry. So he's like very businessy and like has really influenced me on that. And my first business that like I ever had was.
Hello, viewers. Sorry to interrupt this amazing interview that's going on right now, but I figured that I would cut Matthew off a little bit short to, keep some secrets between us. Trust me, this business he's talking about is 100% smart. Anyways, moving on to the original broadcast.
That was my first business, and it was something.
It sounds like something. So during this excursion of yours, what was the hockey? Like, where was that falling into place?
Yeah, I mean, we'll like travel. See, like I said, like I wasn't really good. I didn't get like decently good at hockey until like I was 17. Like, so like I was definitely a late bloomer. Um, and so like travel in high school was just like normal, just like 3, 4 like times a week. And then high school was obviously 5, and that was a little bit more intense. But I mean, practice was always right after school. For hockey for my high school, so we would just all carpool right after school and like go to the rink and just like practice. And then after that, like your day was free. Like, I mean, it wasn't super taxing. Like you just had practice and then you're out of there. So
Right. So like now that you've experienced high school versus juniors, do you want to kind of touch on the differences and like how much more demanding juniors is? Because I don't think some players realize that it's that much more.
oh yeah, no, it's not even the same, not even close to the same. Like yeah, like juniors, especially 87, you're morning, like you commit 5 hours like of your day at the rink, like because you got to get there an hour before, and then you stretch, and then you have your bike workout after, and then you have your regular workout after, and then you shower, and then there's film, and like so much stuff. And like every day, like every single day, I just get home and I just go into my bed and just like knock for like 30 minutes because you're so tired every single day. But like it's crazy that like you can be put like through that much stress, like and all that stuff, but like still love it so much because like I do love it. Like it's the best. It's awesome.
So how do you see hockey?
Yeah.
Like in your future? I know you mentioned to me you want to go to school for hockey.
Yeah, definitely. I was really toying with the idea of just going to school as of last year, just because I don't know, I wanted to like focus on like business and stuff like that and not like be distracted with hockey. But then I kind of realized like hockey, like my whole life is like kind of like was kept me on track. Like, oh, your grades have to be good or you can't practice, or just like, oh, I can't go to this party tonight, I have like hockey, like stuff like that. It just like kept me in line and like kept me doing the right stuff when a lot of my friends have kind of like fallen off like the wagon a bit, like done some like bad stuff. And like especially with juniors too, like you have time to mature. Like I would have been 17 going into college, but now like I'm gonna go in as like 20. And like obviously like, okay, like is that like a little bit weird? Like I guess to some people, but like who really cares? Like I get to be a kid, get to like learn like how to be an adult in like a fun setting. Like I like, yeah, like so I wouldn't change it for a second, and I'm super glad that I've been doing it.
Yeah, and that's probably like one of the best parts about juniors is one, you're making your lifelong friends. You're seeing the people that mean the most to you, right? And I'm sure like you have a bunch of stories to tell about that. But let's talk more about, before all that, let's talk more about like your role on the team and how you are positively influencing the 87's organization.
Okay, all right, fair. So I was like a second year vet as of last year. So like you play juniors for 3 years, right? So you have your rookies, that's like the bottom of the barrel, like they get like shit on all the time. And then you have your vets, like your 2-year vets that are like they're respected, and like you respect them and they're above the rookies and stuff like that. And then you have your 3-year vets that kind of just like know a little bit more, stuff like that. And then there's like returners as well. Okay. So like I wasn't a returner on the team because I was new. I didn't play there last year. So there's like a little bit of like a high, but I think I was really well respected for my position, my situation. Like I don't want to like make myself out to be anything. I just feel like the boys accepted me, and like when I talk, they listen and stuff like that, which is like a good thing to have. And like we got our like captains and stuff like that to be our like serious guys and stuff like that. And when it's time to be serious, like I'm the first one to bear down. Like especially last year, like or my first year in Will, the 87s to go to like the Final Four and like stuff like that. So like I had that experience, and like I knew like what it took and like what the locker room needed to be like, and like how we needed to act, and like when we needed to turn the switch to like bear down. And I think more towards the end of the year, I kind of really like brought that out, just because like I knew like they needed that kind of like leadership. Because I mean, the 3-year vets in the return, yeah, they've been playing juniors longer than I have, but they haven't been to like the Final Four. Like, and I wasn't trying to like steal their thing, but I just felt like I could add something to the team. And it's just like a very few times throughout the year where I'd like call everyone together. I'm like, let's get our together. Like, yo, like we're doing good. Like, let's keep going. But I mean, when I did, I feel like I was respected and everyone like listened and heard what I had to say.
Yeah, for sure. I think that says a lot about your character, but also you don't have to be amazing at hockey. Like, you don't have to be the best to be
Hmm.
on the team.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And I think too, like, after talking to you, I realized that your communication skills has led the 87s to be a successful team this year. Let's just touch on two, roles on the team. Like I said, you don't have to be the best skater. You don't have to score the most points.
Yeah, there's definitely roles on the team, and like everyone has a role, and everyone's role is as important as like the other person's role. Like there's like desirable roles, right? Right? Like you want to be the guy that like scores all the goals, right? Or you want to be the guy that's out there with 5 minutes left in like the third period or like whatever. But like we need like those fourth line grinders. Like we need the guys that like work hard and like aren't as skilled, chip pucks and bang bodies and like stick up for teammates. Like you need like that shutdown D and like oh he wants to rush the puck, but no, like he can't because he's our shutdown D. We have our offensive guys. Like just like roles are super important. And the sooner you can figure out what your role is and how it clicks in the team, the more success you'll have. I can guarantee it.
Yeah.
I definitely had firsthand, like I figured that out this year, like was my first year that I ever really learned it. And I can't believe I haven't learned it before. It helped me out much. Like I used to always want to be like the guy that would just like showboat, like try and pick corners and stuff like that. But hard worker too. Hard work carry you and then let the skill be the thing that like separates you and like takes you to like the next level in that sense. And so I honestly just kind of took it to heart and like kind of had like a real like deep like self-reflection. And I was like, all right, like I'm gonna change like kind of like who I think I am as a player. And I mean, if you look at like my first half of the season stats versus my second half of the season stats, it's like night and day. Like it's important. And I also like Cooley said that as well, and like that made me start thinking. But also Andrew Maynard, Moose, like he committed to Tufts. He was a huge help for like my like game developing mentally. Like we were stallmates, and he was just like he's like a huge goofball. Like he is funny, like a little bit weird, but like the best funny. And he showed me the ropes about like mentally stuff and like or mental stuff and things on the ice. And he like I enough like a player, a teammate, like to contribute to my success more than Moose. He was a really stand up guy.
Oh, that's awesome to hear that, like, your teammates almost became your family. Like, they influenced you. They, helped form your character.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah. And like Moose was like obviously a big example, but like everyone on that team, man, we were so close. It was like nothing I've ever been a part of by far. Like there was like some kids that like are just a little shitheads, like Michael Hertzberg. You know who you are. You can cut that out though, but you should bleep that out. But everyone else like too. Like I loved all of them. Like I like conversation with all of them. I still talk. They're super close, and like they were family. Like we were family last year. It sucks we got cut short.
Yeah. So speaking of that, talk about going into next year. What's the plan?
Mm-hmm. We're gonna win it. We're gonna win it. We're gonna win it all. I'm excited. Like I mean, we just like we were so good, and like were we like a shoo-in to win? Like honestly, no, we were not a shoo-in, but we were right there. Like us and BJR, like we were like it would have been a hell of a championship game, and I like it just sucks. Like it sucks that it had to be cut short, but I mean, it's just gonna motivate me next year. Like it's like we had like such a shot, like such a good opportunity to make a good run, and like we fucked it up like that, like or like not even we fucked it up, like it just gets fucked up like that. It's just really frustrating, and I've talked to the other guys on the team, and I know they're fired up for next year too. So I mean, just like watch out, like rest of the league for real.
You guys have a lot of returners. A lot.
Yeah,
You guys are really
I
set
know.
for a good season.
Oh yeah, and it's yeah, it's gonna be something else, man. I'm really excited.
I'm excited for you, and I think too, as an organization, you guys are all growing together, and you're
Yeah,
having more and
absolutely.
more, NCAA commits, and that's kind of what's separating you guys from the competition.
Yeah. They shout out the Cooley and Maddie. Like they have done an excellent job at getting schools like to watch us and stuff like that. And you look at our commitments, and like there's teams like in like last year that committed like twice as many guys, right? But they're all like schools, like and just like saying they're getting commitments just so they can say they have commitments. Like Cooley and Maddie like take pride in it. Like we're gonna get you the best school too, and we're gonna get them to look at you. Like what they do like with schools and stuff like that is like cool to me. Like that's one of the best things about that makes the 87's 87's. Like we're here to win. We're here to win. Like you buy in, and they'll reward you like with the schools and like the looks like that. So it's it's a really cool opportunity and really cool thing that they do.
Yeah, and even just as an umbrella, like the EHL does a phenomenal job at committing kids, and I love that about, the EHL in general, and like the fact that it's not just about hockey, it's about your education. What are you going to major in? What is going to make you after hockey's over?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the EHL has come a long, long way. Like, and as long, like, at least when I've been a part of it, just like seeing them grow since like my rookie year to like this past year to now, it's crazy, and I'm very thankful to be a part of it.
Yeah. Well, I think that's good for the serious questions.
Okay.
But I asked my Instagram followers, or even you asked your Instagram followers, essentially, some questions. They responded really well with wanting to know more about you.
Okay, good.
One question that stuck out to me the most is, who would win in a fight, Barb or Doyle?
Oh, buddy. You can't just oh.
Well, I don't even know. You need to explain.
So my 3 best friends, well, I have a couple more. I don't want to like leave them out. So my like 2 friends is Matt Bielinski, who plays, like I said, in Lincoln, and Matt Doyle, who played for Johnstown, but actually just got traded to the Titans. And like we've been hanging out, like we are like all like boys. Like we always hang out when we're home, stuff like that. We always play frizz. And Doyle and Barb's ended up playing in juniors in Janesville and the Knoll 2 years ago. So they're really close as well, and they always like jaw back and forth with each other, always fake fight and stuff like that. Who would win in a fight? I don't know. I think street fight, no rules. I think street fight, no rules, Barb's would win. But in a boxing match, I think Doyle would win, because Doyle just got the grit and the size, but Barb's is an animal sometimes. So all right, that's a good question to start off with. Okay, so like no rules, because Barb's is just like an animal. I'd probably take Barb's, but like set rules and like boxing, squaring up, I think Doyle would win, because Doyle's a big boy.
Yeah.
That's a good question.
Let's turn the question back on you. No one asked this, but I want to ask because I'm just curious. Have you ever been in a fight on the ice? Is that?
I have been in 3 fights on the ice.
So you're kind of a grinder.
Yeah, what can I say? No. So okay, well actually they've never been in a real game. They've all been at like main camps for the Titans. Every single one has been at a Titan main camp. And so my first one ever was 2 years ago, before my rookie year in Wilkes, and I was just like, I remember because my dad took me that year, and I was just like, you know what, Dad, I think I'm gonna get into like a fight like this. Like I think I'm gonna get into a fight. So this kid just like gave me a cross check, and like I just took off my because I have a cage, I wear a cage, right? Mm-hmm. So I took it off and just threw off my gloves and just went just fought. Like it was crazy. It was so weird. I
leave a mark.
Yeah, no, that was awesome. And so I won my first one, which was good. My second one, I like kind of he got like the last punch in, and he gave me a black eye. But other than that, we were pretty even. I have a video of that one, so I can show you that one because he came over.
Yeah, if you send it to me, we'll put it in and we'll show it.
Absolutely. So this second one I kind of lost. I got a black eye after it. He just came over the top and hit me with a windmill. It was kind of that guy was kind of a scumbag. But and then my third one was at this main camp this past season, and I made it to like the final cut. So I was just like obviously like gonna do anything like it takes to like make the team, because I really wanted to make the Titans like last year. So I like go crash the net, and like there's this guy just sitting there, and I just like cross check him. Like I don't give like a shit. Like I definitely instigated the fight. And so he looked at me and he was like, "You want to go?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, I want to go." And so like I said, like I still wear a cage. Like I mean, call me like a bitch. I don't want to get hit in the face with like a puck or anything. So I wear a cage. So I have to take off my whole helmet and gloves and stuff like that. So you can't just like grab him right away. Like you have to square up. So we like square up, and we square for a while. Like he doesn't want to come in. I have a video of this one too. You can literally see me go like this, because I'm like, bro, like what are you doing? And so we lock up, and I always let people throw the first punch so I can get like a good grab on their jersey like that. So I just like, he throws the first punch and I get him, and I just start throwing, like I black out, right? I black out. I'm throwing punches, and all of a sudden like I'm standing like on top of him, and so
Dude.
So okay, so I think I knocked him out, but I don't know. Well, okay, like I have a video of it, and it looks like I knocked him out, but I went to the trainer after, and he said that the guy popped his shoulder out, so he just dropped. So it looks like I don't know. I think I knocked him out. I'm gonna say I knocked him out, but the trainer said he popped his shoulder out, so he dropped.
Trainer says something, but the video says another.
I'll send you both videos, and you can be the judge. All right.
Yes, definitely send them to me. Okay, so another question it's not really a question, but just run us through a weekend off.
Okay. So, all right. The best. I was thinking about how I was gonna answer this, but so 87's, we take hockey very seriously. Like we don't mess around. Like I need the coach to get on you. Like we do not mess around when it comes to hockey and working on training. But we also know how to have like a good time. Or if we had like a big weekend or something like that, or like when we clinch playoffs or something like that, like we know like when to celebrate. Just having a good time, and we're fortunate enough to have Monmouth University pretty close. We have a couple friends that are so just like and Temple, like all these colleges kind of like close by that like we have friends at, and just kind of go there. But like I said, like we don't go out or do something stupid if we have a game tomorrow or even practice. Like we take it very seriously, and sometimes we'll have guys or people over at the houses because like we kind of live alone. But nothing crazy. Like we're not reckless. We know how to have fun, but we know when to have fun, and we know how much fun to have. That's a good answer.
Good testimony for the 87's. That was a really good thought out answer.
Yeah.
Okay. So next, someone asked, "Walk me through the perfect frizz throw." And now that you've kind of explained frizz to me,
yeah,
I would love to know the answer.
All right. So like I don't know. It's like you get square and you let the hips go with a good like flick of the wrist. It flies, man. It flies. It's just like you can't muscle it. It's like a technique. Like you can't just like and just throw it. You just gotta have like square body, good hip turn. The frizz goes, man. The frizz goes.
Technique, eh?
All about the technique.
Okay, so this is a little bit more serious, but someone asked, what college do you dream of playing someday?
Okay, so when I was like young, like my first time like ever really like looking like into like hockey and stuff like that, I actually turned on ESPN, and it was like BU versus BC.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I'm just like I said 11, 12, like whatever, how old I'm like I want to go there, like BC. And so like I didn't even know that was like the like hockey school like back then, and even still now. Mm-hmm. And so I like wanted to go there for a long time, and then obviously like D1's probably not going to be like my path, which is like I'm fine with that. But Miami of Ohio was a big one, and now just kind of like looking at like D3 schools, like the ones I told you about. I don't know if I should tell you or like put it out there what schools I've been really looking at, but just like I'm okay, well, just like I haven't been visiting too, like I haven't visited any yet, but I mean I got at least for hockey.
Mm-hmm.
But I have my schools that I'm looking at, and I just kind of want to go there and like visit and see like if I get that same feeling that I get when I was at like Miami, or just like wow, like I can see myself being here, like wow, I really like it. Like I used to go to Geneseo a lot just to like hang out with my friend, and I like didn't really like to feel that place, and I was just like like I don't like liberal arts school, like kind of like very naturey stuff like that. So I don't know, just like city schools and stuff like that, like populated places like that stuff interests me. And so like my dream school was probably like BC or Miami of Ohio, but now just kind of like what is more realistic, I'm still kind of like up in the air about that.
I really liked how you said like you're keeping it more realistic, because there's a lot of younger players that think the dream is like a huge possibility, and not to stop anyone from following their dreams, but there's a line between realistic and your ability.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I really like how you kind of explained that this is the dream, but this is the realistic option. But you also mentioned that's your path. Like not everyone is the same.
Yeah.
And that's a really good point to make, because I think a lot of players even now are feeling the pressure to commit to schools and to go to the top programs and stuff like that, when it's really about like following your dreams in your time, in your way.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. And yeah, I mean, it's going back to like everyone like having like thinking they got to do all this. Everyone thinks that they're better than everyone thinks they're better than they actually are when it comes to hockey. And so yeah, it's just kind of about like being realistic and like being true. Like okay, like no, like I'm not like I'm not gonna be the next Connor McDavid. Like as much like as cool as that would be, like man, I'd love to be, but it's not in the cards most likely. So like just kind of keeping it to be realistic, along with kind of like co-aligning with like what I want outside of hockey. It's kind of just like what's worked for me, and I mean I'm loving what I'm doing, so it works out.
Awesome. And one more thing to wrap up this interview. Someone asked, what was the best, well, you'll know who asked it, but what was the best part about living with Santo?
Oh man, what was the best part? Santo. I think the best parts, the little things. I kind of like thinking back, like past things, like and like big parts of my life. I like to think about the little things. So just if you put me on the spot like that, like thinking about Sancho, like what sticks out is we always like would watch movies in my room, and so like I had my bed and we had a chair and like the TV, right? And so I would play Fortnite often, right? And I'm sitting in the chair and Santa's sitting in the bed, and then we'd always turn on a movie when I was done with Fort, and we would always Santa would get out of the bed and move into the chair, and I would get out of the chair and move into the bed, and we were just like, it was just like our routine. Like I don't know, it was So I mean, Santa's a great guy. We had a lot of great memories and stuff like that, but I mean, just like the visceral response to that question was just thinking about like our movie time together. Santo, I miss you.
Well, thank you so much. I think, with people listening, whether they're a parent or a player pursuing a junior career or whatever the case may be, you did such an amazing job explaining how, you took your route, your path, and you're still following that path. And I also think you did a great job, basically saying how amazing the 87's is for the coaches, the players, you.
Oh, yeah.
So thank you so much for coming on and doing this interview with me.
No, thank you so much for having me. It was my pleasure, 100%.
Do you want to shout out any of your platforms?
Like my Instagram?
Yeah.
For followers? Yo, yeah. Follow me on Instagram, Matt Bielinski, Bielinski. Twitter, you don't really have to. TikTok, Matt Bielinski 06. Big up and coming TikTok, they're not a big deal.
There you go. Charlie D'Amelio.
That's it. But awesome. Yeah, no, thank you so much. It was I had fun. This was awesome.
I'll definitely see you and keep up with your stats. So be sure to keep doing what you're doing. And thank you so much for this interview.
Yeah, no, I'll do my best. But no, I'm excited to see you. Thank you for having me on, and thank you for this. Yeah, it was awesome.
All right, see ya.
Bye.